We're here at Voxxed Athens, and I'm with Johan. So you gave a talk about Akka, actors, pies, Lego. Let's start at the beginning. What is an actor?
An actor is basically a means to communicate, so two actors can talk to each other by sending messages back and forth. And an actor is basically a class which you can write in Java or Scala, and then you implement the actor interface, and you can define what messages to receive and what messages to send.
And Akka is the facility that sends the messages?
Yeah, Akka facilitates a number of things, so you can send messages with it within one JVM, but you can also send messages across JVMs. So instead of doing REST calls, you can simply send the actor a message which is running on another JVM. Then they call it remote actors. And they also have clustering support and all kinds of support, basically. So it's a complete tool stack to build applications.
Okay. When you're sending a message from one actor to another in different JVMs, how do they identify themselves?
You identify the actors by the IP address and the actor system they are running in. So every actor is running in an actor system. You can have one or more actor systems on one JVM. So by using the name of the actor system, and the IP address, you can find every actor, basically.
Do you need to do any configuration?
Yeah, so if you use local actors, it's quite easy because you can simply use the classes that you already have available. If you want to use remote actors, you have to enable the remote features. You have to define the IP address and the port it's listening on. And you have to define the IP address, the actor system, and the name of the actor you want to use. So there's a bit of configuration involved.
So in your Lego system, what messages were you sending?
Yeah, the messages, they vary a bit. So we have messages, for instance, to play a song. So from my laptop, I send a play message containing the file name to the Raspberry Pi, and then the Raspberry Pi will start playing that song. The same for the train speed. I can simply send a command to move the train forward at a certain speed, or to stop the train, messages like that. So everything you normally do with method calls, you would do with simply sending messages to other actors. Yeah.
And why did you choose Scala?
You could do it with Java as well. It works perfectly fine, but Scala has some nice features like pattern matching on messages. It's a lot nicer in Scala. The code is a bit more compact. It's a bit nicer. But you could do it in Java as well. We just wanted to play with Scala and see what it was like.
What advice would you give to someone who's thinking of starting their own Raspberry Pi project?
Mm-hmm. If you want to do something with Raspberry Pi and Akka, it's fairly simple because you can run anything which you run on a normal laptop on server. You can run that on a Raspberry Pi as well. So I normally simply make a fat jar out of it with all the dependencies included, and then I can simply start it with Java. Although it takes a bit longer to start up, of course, because it's a bit slow hardware. But it works the same as on a laptop, so it's relatively easy. As long as you can connect to the Raspberry Pi, it works like any other remote machine. Yeah.
And what's the most interesting thing you learned about the technologies or the process?
I think the most interesting for me was using the remote actors to communicate between JVMs instead of using the REST protocol. Normally, when we communicate between JVMs, it's mostly with REST or maybe SOAP even. But it feels a bit strange because it's a lot of boilerplate code that you have to write simply to communicate. It's not business value. And nowadays, when there's a lot of discussions on monoliths versus microservices, and lots of people give the advice, simply build a monolith and then extract parts out of it if it's too big. Yeah. But if you do that in the traditional way, you need to define REST endpoints for all those parts and then rewrite your code so that it will use those REST endpoints. If you'd build the same monolith in Akka with actors and you want to extract parts of it, you can simply reconfigure it to use remote actors, and you don't need to do much more than a bit of reconfiguration, basically. So that's, I think, a really nice concept for communication across JVMs. Yeah.
Thank you very much.